So Shell are back in the news. Rachel Airriess is a paralegal at JMW and specialises in environmental matters. So, Rachel, I believe that Shell have fallen foul of the Advertising Standards Authority. Exactly what's happened?
Yeah, so thanks, Tom. Yeah, Shell, they've been caught by the Advertising Standards Authority again. So this is for the second time, for breaching its rules against misleading environmental claims. Now, in this current claim, Shell have come under scrutiny from the ASA because they were advertising to promote their renewable energy operations, claiming that the UK was ready for cleaner energy, and in the UK, 1.4 million households use 100% renewable electricity from Shell. Now, campaigners challenged this on the basis that the ads omitted material information on the overall environmental impact of all of Shell's operations and were therefore misleading. Shell tried to argue that it was not necessary to consider the overall impact of all the global operations of the company, and to do so would place an unworkable burden on the company. Now, ASA ruled in the campaigners' favour, finding that the ads were misleading because it would, for a consumer, they would interpret the claims as referring to the whole of Shell's activities. And now in 2020, there was a previous ruling against Shell from ASA, which was for a radio ad that was referred to driving carbon neutral by using Shell Go Plus. Now, Shell Go Plus is a loyalty scheme that is created by Shell for customers. And there was multiple complaints about the ad, specifically the fact that Shell were using words like carbon neutral and sustainable. And so ASA have now actually made the rules even stricter to ensure that obviously companies that are using these specific terms aren't using them in a way that is making them look more sustainable, environmentally friendly than they actually are.
And just so we understand, Rachel, what is greenwashing?
Yeah, so greenwashing is when an organization uses terms such as green, sustainable, carbon neutral, net zero, things like that to try and promote their business in a way that's kind of misleading consumers. So a great example is the Shell case. But I think what's quite difficult and what we're seeing that companies and organizations are struggling with is what can they actually say in terms of their green credentials, and what are they able to say without being subject to misleading customers and being subject to greenwashing claims such as obviously Shell have been.
And I suppose you lead me perfectly then to my next question, which was going to be sort of, what does this decision show? What's the takeaway for businesses?
Yeah, so I think with the increase in interest, I think we've all seen that there's a huge increase in interest in kind of companies having more environmental and social and governance kind of policies in their business, and then they seeing kind of a financial benefit to having those kind of policies in their business. So I think organizations like ASA are starting to realize that and put in more stricter rules and implications for companies that are trying to gain financially by falsely advertising themselves as something that they might not be. So I think it's it is a wake-up call for companies to kind of realize that if they are going to make these green claims, then they have to be quite careful of how far they're going to take them, and how they have to think about, is their company actually really able to kind of make these green claims?
Rachel, thank you for your insight. If you'd like to speak to Rachel and the environmental law team here at JMW Solicitors, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999. Please also subscribe to the JMW Inside Man YouTube channel for the latest legal news, hints and tips. I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.